This is a review of the BMW F800GS, and I think I'm qualified to give a review on this now because I've done 5,000 miles in 3 weeks, and I've ridden from Santiago in Chile, where I hired this bike, all the way down the Carretera Austral to a place called Chile Chico. Then I entered Argentina, rode down to Tierra del Fuego, and all the way to Ushuaia, the end of the world. From there I returned, crossed the Strait of Magellan again, and came up on the east coast of Argentina, and I'm now parked up by the Atlantic Ocean, not far from my destination, about less than an hour, to Comodoro Rivera in Argentina. So I thought I'd give you a review because, to be fair, out of those 5,000 miles, 4,000 have been done on cement or tarmacs like this road here, and 1,000 have been done on a mixture of gravel, and that could be the light gravel like over here, to thicker gravel like here. I've been on sand, on rutted roads, and I think I've covered just about every surface that you're likely to encounter. So what do I think of the bike? Well, let me just say, if you have bought this bike recently, then I applaud you. Congratulations, well done. This is a fantastic bike, there's no question about it. If you're looking to buy this bike, I would say yes, buy it. One proviso, which I'll come to in a minute or two. Firstly, let me just say, when I hired this from Ride Chile, they've obviously put some accessories on it. You've got the upper crash bars, the lower crash bars, and you do need those, because I have dropped it. I was trying to turn around on some thick gravel, got it wrong, fell over. A couple of cars came to help me and pick the bike up with me, and it was always the way, isn't it? I was literally about half a mile from where I wanted to be, and I missed the turning. Most accidents seem to happen just when you're near home. So this bike has got me all the way around this whole of sort of bottom half of South America without any problems apart from my own stupidity. The other extras they've put on, these stronger handguards, and obviously the panniers and the top box. But I'm not going to cover specifications of what's included on the standard bike, seat height and all of that. All I can tell you is that I'm 5'8", a 30-inch seam on the inside leg, and I can flat foot this bike no problem at all. And it's really comfortable seat. I didn't think it was going to be, and I did bring a sort of a seat cushion, but honestly I prefer it without the seat cushion. It's much better without it. So great seat, good seat height, optional extras to help you make longer journeys. These big panniers are really good, but they don't lock, so that's a minus point, if you like, on the accessories. I don't know what make they are. They're not BMW standard ones, but they're great. They're voluminous. Shad top box, which does lock, and with some rock straps, of course. You can strap anything you like to the back of the seat, the passenger seat, and it's incredibly comfortable. Got something to lean against, which is nice. With the settings here on the screen, it's easy to read. I mean, we're in bright sunshine, it's 34 degrees, 35 actually now, and it's easy to read when you're going along. All of the information you need is to hand. So it says 176 kilometers. I can scroll through the menu button here, I can change the views on it, trip A or trip 1, trip 2, back to that. There are other settings I can see. On this one it's got the tyre pressure monitors. They've put this accessory on, I assume it's an accessory for the charging your phone, and I bought the adapter with me, thankfully, so I can put the phone on a quad lock, which I bought, and everything's in front of me. As I say, the controls are all to hand, really easy to operate, no problems at all. I've put on this one, this little gadget, it's a few quid off eBay or Amazon, and it just helps you when you're accelerating. You just push down there, as opposed to having to grip it and twist. You just hold on to it and push down there, which I think is really, really useful on longer journeys. And some of the days in the saddle have been 9 hours, 8-9 hours, and other days have been 4 or 5. Like today, it's going to be 5. So it's done its job. It's a great bike. I can highly recommend it from a rider's point of view. Twin discs. The shocks seem to absorb just about anything I've thrown at it, and it's just seems like to go on and on without any problems. I've just oiled the chain a few times, not a drop of oil is it used. It's just a great, easy bike to ride. I've had the GS 1200 some years ago, and I'm used to BMWs. I had one before that many years ago, so this is a great bike. I highly recommend it. One thing though, just to bear in mind, and it may not be a problem for you. Oh, by the way, the reason I've got my helmet on is because it's so windy. It's 42 kilometers an hour wind, so I've just left my helmet on because it's got the wire to the microphone inside the helmet. So the one thing to bear in mind, which may or may not affect you, is this. The old F800GS, I'm talking about, I think it was a 2014 model or before, you had the filler down here, the petrol cap filler, and the tank was low down. So all the weight was low down. This one, of course, is much more conventional. You fill it in at the top. Now that means that you've got a lot of weight at the top. And that's not a major problem when you're on the tarmac. It is a problem for someone like me, a bit of a novice. I'm still a novice even after 1,000 more miles on gravel. When you are riding off-road, because all that weight sits up top, sits quite high, and that's when you notice the smaller bikes are making their lives really easy by these sort of 250 and 350 little Honda, and life's just so much easier with those bikes. But if you're not going on gravel roads, if you're not going on thick gravel, that shouldn't be an issue for you. You know, if most of your work is on the tarmac, 90% or more, then it's not an issue. The only other way it might be an issue is if you have a very tight turning circle to get it into your garage or move it around your garage. It may be a problem. So for example, where I live in the UK, we've got a really small single garage. It's a 1930s building, house, so small garage when cars were really small, and to get to it you've got a gravel driveway. So for me it's a little bit awkward getting bikes in and out, and so the lighter the bike the easier it is. But honestly, it's not a major issue, and I wouldn't let it put you off buying it for sure. Especially if you've got, a proper driveway, nice double garage, or even a single garage with turning space. It's really not an issue. So, not a lot else to say. I'm over the moon about this bike. When I first got it 5,000 miles ago, I thought, oh my goodness, it's top heavy, I'm not going to manage it. Honestly, I've totally forgotten about it. And, I've ridden this, as I say, on thick gravel like here, and you just let that back wheel dance around and it's fine. I wouldn't, personally, because I don't have the expertise, I wouldn't take it off some really gnarly stuff, but that's okay, I don't need to. And if you're the same, then I wouldn't worry about it either. Good acceleration, plenty of stopping power, more than enough for everyday needs. So, as I say right at the beginning, if you have bought this bike, congratulations, good choice. if you're thinking about buying this bike, well, don't let anybody stop you. It's a great bike. I highly, highly recommend it. So that's my quick review of the F800GS from a very windy Argentina. I'll just show you a bit more on the stick what's around me. Not a lot. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed the review. As I say, I've had to keep my helmet on because I've got a microphone in here shielding from the wind a little bit, so hopefully you can hear me. But if you want any more information, feel free to put a note in the comments and I'll try and answer it as best as I can. Anyway, thanks for watching it. If you liked it, thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Alright, thanks a lot everybody. Cheers.